Okay, it's a good question. Hey, it's Ted Wendelboe. I wonder if he's any relation to Merlin Wendelboe. I'm going to go with the chance that it's likely. Between YouTube eliminating channels that are, quote, not commercially viable, unquote, and demonetization and other YouTube crackdowns, is it not the perfect time for some competitor to build a free speech alternative video hosting site and catch all the rats abandoning the sinking ship that is YouTube? I've heard this before. By the way, since people in the comments are still talking about Carson, there's one thing I do want to say about Dr. Carson. I heard him speak at an event, and he said something that just made my blood just run cold. He said, yes, I have houses. I have nice houses. Yes, I have nice cars. And I've got all this stuff that the money has bought me. He said, but they could take all of it away from me tomorrow. And in 6 months, I'd have it all back again because my real wealth is up here. All right, then. So anyway, back to Merlin's question. There's been talk about this for a long time. And the problem with it is the network effect. Now, it's not like a pure example of the network effect. For those of you not familiar with it, the network effect is basically a very simple rule of nature, I guess, certainly a rule of economics, that says that the more people that are on a network, the more valuable the network becomes. In other words, if you're the only person in the world that has a cell phone, that cell phone's useless. And if there are 2 cell phones in the world, that's pretty much useless. And there only comes a point, there's a kind of a tilting point where now so many people have cell phones that now you want to have a cell phone too, which also works because they're making so many cell phones now that the prices come down. So it's not quite the same thing because on some level we link to things on YouTube. So to answer your question in some detail, what it really comes down to is this, Merlin. The thing with YouTube is you have to think about YouTube in 2 different ways, and they both matter. One way is that it's a video hosting site, and that way is terrific because it's a lot of bandwidth, costs money, and the ability to host videos on YouTube for free, in fact, have people pay you to watch them, is just fantastic. But the problem is that so much of the YouTube views are generated by things like your subscription button and the choices that Google puts in front of you, that you can, in fact, completely repress a channel and put them out of business. And so you need to, when you're looking at a replacement or just trying to understand what's going on, you have to understand you've got, on one hand, you've got a video hosting problem, and on the other hand, you've got a censorship problem. And you could certainly, somebody step up with some money. YouTube, I'm sure, makes money. Obviously, it makes money. You could certainly find a way to, let's just say you could get the money because you're talking about, if not billions, and certainly hundreds of millions of dollars, I think, to do this right. So you buy yourself a gigantic, memory farm, and you back it up, and you say, we don't censor content, and we host it. People would start going there. I would certainly start going there. But if you went there and you weren't a content provider, you'd have no reason to stay. I mean, if you went to this place and all you saw were, conservative commentary, I know you'd think, my God, I'm in heaven, but you wouldn't stay. I don't stay on YouTube for conservative commentary. I spend all my time there, virtually all my online time there, when I'm not flying around other star systems and stuff. And YouTube is YouTube because YouTube has so many billion, I guess it's got to be billions by now. Certainly it's got to be hundreds of millions of videos. I don't know how many there are on there, but there's a lot. And so I like YouTube because I think that regular people, content creators, are far more talented than the people in Hollywood, far more. There are 3 or 4 or 5 YouTube channels. We did a show on this a couple of months ago that I follow, and I watch everything that comes out on them. Critical Drinker is getting to be one of my all-time favorites. This guy does the same level of script criticism that Red Letter Media does. I don't know what this guy did before he became critical drinker, but he certainly knows his way around writing and screenplays. And and so he's not just bitching about movies. He's basically telling you why this sucks and how this simple thing could have made this so much better. And you go, wow, he's absolutely right. There's nobody doing that in mainstream media. Nobody. And mainstream media, as we understand it, is it's really reaching the end of its line. We did a segment on CBS News moving to Washington, and I said, "What's CBS News?" It doesn't matter. Those days are gone. He's a novelist. Okay, well, he knows his way around a story. Yeah, he's a little salty, but he makes it work. He's not. What's the word I'm looking for? He's not gratuitously vulgar or obscene. He just uses it when he needs it, and it works. So anyway, the problem with moving off of YouTube, Merlin, is that you can do the video hosting. We could do it at Vimeo, and there are a number of other places where we could put it. The problem is, what did I just see? Oh, that's weird. I have a went a little pale there. I've got my playback monitor, and over here I've got the Twitch stream, and there's about an 8-second delay between the two. And I moved my chair, and I was looking around, and then I glanced and I saw something moving across the frame. I thought it was behind me here in the studio. So and see, here's the main reason why this doesn't work, because to be honest with you, Merlin, the video hosting thing part of YouTube doesn't change. If everybody got an email and everybody followed a link from a friend or from BillWhittle.com, and that's the only way you saw views, then we'd be fine. But they're not doing that. They're intentionally not letting people know when we put new videos up. We do 11 a week. And then not only that, they're actively suppressing it so that other people don't stumble upon it. It just doesn't. This is what I learned from that thing I mentioned a couple weeks ago, this Google thing, where it's like just the only power they need is the power of the menu. They don't need coercive force. They don't need any of that stuff. They don't need to eliminate competition. They don't need to shut us down. They just need to make sure that my name appears on page 4 of a Google search and not on page 1 of a Google search. Because hardly anybody goes fast. I don't know what the numbers are. If I had to guess, I would say it's probably 85% on page 1, maybe another 6 or 7% go to page 2, 2% go to page 3, and 0.5% goes to page 4, that kind of thing. But here we are on Twitch instead of YouTube. We host on Twitch. We post on YouTube. But this is more of a statement, really, more than anything. Could probably make a case that given the size of the YouTube audience compared to the Twitch audience, despite the fact that they're suppressing our stuff, we probably grab more people over there. But it's the principle of the thing, But then again, we're stuck. We're stuck, caught in our world of we all decided to go and put everything we have on somebody else's property, which wasn't such a smart idea. Okay. Let's go to the Facebook comments and see what we have there. Oh, I have one of the comments here is, I presume you've seen Midway by now, but I haven't commented on it. I didn't know it was open yet. I will go and see it. I'll go and see it within the next few days. I have no idea. It looked better than Pearl Harbor. Let's put it that way. Let's see.